So my next topic, it says, what are some difficulties of dating in your 30s?
You mean, is that even a thing? Do people still date?
I mean,
Is dating non-existent? It's non-existent.
Dating is non-existent? Why you say that?
Meaning like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I've been in a relationship for a really long time, like 14 years, and I'm engaged. So I don't know what it is to date in my 30s.
Right.
I feel like sometimes, well, some of the friends that I have, they set their standards a little bit too high. So it's kind of like you date in your 20s and then in your 30s, you're like, okay, I know I want this, and this. And you're looking for those 4, 5, 10 things maybe. And it's like, okay, you're kind of weeding tons of people out and not giving anybody chances because
99% of the
you know
population.
What I'm saying? Like your boundaries are just so high. So I don't think it's difficult in your 30s. I just feel like women need to be more open to.
When she said she's talking about me.
Respectfully, you might have to sit this one out. You got the ring on. You got the ring and everything. Like, you gotta sit this one out.
What's going on out
here? But let's not discount the fact that she just spit some facts just now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You did.
It's true.
Okay, so when you say standards are too high, what do you mean?
Exactly what she just said.
Is it too high or too many?
I just want to know what the standards are that they're your friends
I'm the friend.
Oh,
we wasn't gonna say that, but you know what I mean. Like,
I was just talking about you.
So this is what I think. This is what I think you're trying to say because I know we talk all the time, and I tell you like, okay, I need this, I need that, I need that, I need that. The things that I'm saying are things that I already have, right? So for instance, I'm saying like, okay, I need someone who's established in their career or at least a budding career, like something's happening. You know what I mean? Because that's what I have, right? I want someone who, you know, is ambitious because I'm ambitious. I want someone who has their own I don't need someone who has their own house like me, but like has their own place because, you know, I have a child. So if I want to get away from my child, I want to come to your place. But to me, or what is? Oh, when you be calling Zork scam. But besides the physical, I feel like short clitty.
You know,
like
handsome. You know what I'm saying?
Black won't be colorist, but
I like them all.
I think that my standards is that I'm looking for a partner, right? In this day and age, in my big age, I need a partner because I am doing everything on my own. Like, I got it. I got you. I got this, right? So if you come into my life, what are you adding to it? If you're not adding, then you're subtracting. So to me, it's like, I'm not looking for a lot. I'm just looking to match me. Like, what's up? Like, what you got going on? Yeah. But I feel like...
So what are the difficulties?
The difficulties is finding that. Yeah. That is the difficulties. And then when you... But for me, I'm telling you, I feel like I intimidate a lot of men because they feel like, oh, she got this, she independent, she don't need nobody, she don't need me. But people want damsels in distress. But I mean, they want damsels. But
I thought that's what you was though.
No, but I'm on paper, I'm not. But if we're dating, I am.
So tell me this. I'm just gonna throw this back to you.
Come to the mic. Or bring the mic closer. We want the people to hear you.
Hello.
Like, loud and clear. Like.
I got something to say. What are you giving off?
Okay, so I can tell this because somebody said this, what I was giving off, right? Okay. Was giving off that I was showing off. Was like I was throwing things in their face. Like I was being like, oh yeah, because I got a house, I got a car, I got this, I got that, I got that. And it came off like, well, then what you need a man for? Like that's what, you know, but it's like,
I don't like it's showing though. It's more like you're secure and you know exactly what you want, but then at the same time, you can't really expect to have all of those things because you have to give people chances. You know what I mean?
Like, and you also 100%. Competing with the other women. Like, you know, you have to understand that, you know, dating is a competition. So if you want the caliber of man you want, he probably has the bulk of options. So now you're competing with the marketplace right now. So that means younger women. That means older women. Wait, what did you say?
She said take off the roster.
How they gonna take you off the roster?
She don't want to compete.
I'm not competing. I'm not competing.
So exactly. So then you can't complain about the type of men if you don't want to compete.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what's happening. Why it's not happening. Why I'm not dating.
That's
like
the difficulty.
If that's the difficulty.
The difficulty is that you don't want to compete for a man.
No, absolutely not. Like if it's between me and someone else, pick her.
So do you expect a man to compete for you then?
No, because there's no I'm not okay.
So when you dating, you just dating that one person.
That's how I am. Like if I'm talking to you, my schedule is packed, jam packed. I can't be talking to Bob, Jim, and Joe Like, I had no time for that.
That ain't sound like no black people.
I feel like maybe yes, my child has a lot to do with it, but I also feel like
as a single mother, you have a separate list, is what you're saying.
I do. I think my time is tighter. Like, I've heard things like I'm selfish because I don't want to make time, or I don't know how to compromise my time. But I feel like if you're talking to me, and you already know, I make it all clear. Y'all know, I'm telling you, this is what I come with. I have a child. I have a career. I have this. I have that. I do want to date, but this is my time constraints. If that's cool with you, let's do this. If not, no problem. Back up. We good. But when you say yes, okay, I could work with that. And then when I kind of give you like, hey, I'm free on Monday at this time, and you be like, okay, I'll let you know. I'm not gonna
he probably been waiting around for 3 weeks, and you like, yeah, you know what? I'm probably almost available on this Monday. He like, you know what?
So if you free on Monday at 3 p.m. and I'm not free on Monday at 3 p.m., that's a problem?
No, it's not a problem. But like, let's say you are free on Monday at 3 p.m. And then you call me at 3:30 and be like, what's up? Yeah, no. Like, I can't do that with you. Okay. You know? Yeah, I can't do that. So my difficulty in my 30s is that I feel like, and maybe I'm going a little bit deep, but I feel like Black women have succeeded and have kind of pushed themselves a lot more because, our mothers, our fathers, like, oh, you got to do this. You don't need to depend on no man. You got to be independent, right? So we're so independent that now we're not finding men that are as independent as us.
Oh, maybe you're so independent, you'll not be in a relationship anymore.
That could be it too. Now, and I'm not even like, it could be that I would like to be in a relationship, but I'm not fighting for one. Like, I'm not like, I'm not gonna say fighting for one, because that it seems like I'm like, I don't care, but it's more like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, what are you doing? Can you please call me?
And this is where the flawed logic is, because a lot of these women that are educated and have their businesses, they have this narrative that I don't need a man. You already don't want to compete for a man.
No.
And then now you saying, well, I really don't need you. You have to compliment my life. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to compliment your life. You have to. So a guy, I'm telling you, successful men, they don't want to hear that, especially when they have the bulk of options and they can just go and get somebody probably younger with no kids, and that will be more on his level, like willing to follow his lead and not want to challenge him on everything. He might go for that. I'm not saying that with all men, but sometimes when women have that mindset, they kind of push these men away. The men that they want, they push them away because that's not what a man wants. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, I mean, in my experience, besides, the children hang-ups or whatever, not.
Sorry, she can hang up.
We love Shiloh. Not children hang-ups. I'm just talking about more personality crimes than anything. It's like, you deal with a lot of people that come with a lot of baggage, emotionally, financially, not just children or anything like that. We're talking about traumas from families and things of that nature. I'm older than all of these women, so I get it when it comes to like just trying to break down those social structures as well. So those are more of the difficulties that I've experienced. It's just trying to break down, I don't want to call nobody crazy, but I'm just saying, like, you're dealing with a lot of people that are breaking generational curses with
trying to break
families. Okay, mothers that are toxic parenting. I'm just talking about my experience. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily like we can always get around time schedule. I'm flexible. We can always get around. If you got a child and you got a mother, the child's mother, we can get around that. But damn, I got to deal with your personality more so than anything. I got to deal with you not being financially together. I got to deal with you being disrespectful.
But that goes to what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Black women are more. You know what I said? Who I said this to? I said, like, where's all these niggas that was in my elementary school? Like, we was on the same level. Where y'all at? Like, y'all should be where I'm at too. Like,
girl,
where y'all at? Where y'all
but that don't mean they want. That don't mean they want somebody on their level. Like, women get this concept that a man wants a woman that's on their level. Not all men want that. Like, you know what I mean?
So what do you want?
So that's a good question to ask men instead of assuming. Like,
I want to know what you want.
Yeah. I think I wish I was growing up in the 90s when there was no social media. Like,
I grew up there.
But you got social media now, girl. So I wish there was no social media. I truly do, because I feel like if social media wasn't a thing, I would be married with 5 kids right like 100%.
Why you say that?
Because I feel like social media has clouded our judgment on how we see people, and we always
in relationships.
So you see relationship goals. Ain't no relationship goals. I don't believe in that.
I always say that.
Ain't no such thing as you see relationship goals. Like, why can't we be on a yacht in Dubai? Listen, no, you don't know what they have to do to go there. Not to mention, we see social media, and we always think that we can be better. We always see better. Like, I'll be like, a guy would be with a girl who's gorgeous. She has a lot going for herself. She caters to him and everything. But then he go on social media and see some chick making steak. Why you don't make steak? Yeah. And it's not just guys, it's women too. It's kind of like, we'll see like, we'll be so happy in a relationship, and then sometimes we go on social media and we see girls who they nigga cashing out. They got Birkin. They got this. They got a G-Wagon. We like,
girl, what he do for a living? Because who got Birkins and who got yachts?
But this is what I'm trying to say. But it's the image. That's
so
what
other
gets
women
in your head.
see that, and then they equate that to.
If your man works at Walmart,
but
he don't got that.
But then you say, well, why am I with this?
See, that to me is such a distorted image of reality. Let's
social media. That's what I'm saying. Social media has
a personal problem. Let's get to the real. If you know for the fact that you don't make that kind of money, Daquan don't make that.
And
where
then
are you coming out with that?
Taisha, who's with Daquan, is gonna say, you know what? But I do know the niggas on the corner that look like they could do something. And then she's running to that, and it's not.
But see, I feel like that's where women go wrong, because they look at materialistic things and they be like, oh, why?
So over materialistic.
Why?
I think you hear a lot more now that women say, I don't want a 9-to-5 dude. Like you hear that on the regular.
That's a fact.
And that's what social media has done.
Yeah, we have women that every show say that.
Every show.
That they don't want a 9-to-5?
That's
rather
crazy.
than scammer. They rather than
You know why? Because they haven't lived. Like, I ain't about to go into my story, because y'all know my story. I ain't about to go deep into it. But I've been with guys who were not 9-to-5ers, who were cashing out, who were about that life. You understand? And it never ended well. And not saying the relationship
they never do.
They never do. It's not even saying like the relationship didn't end well, but the streets will take over. You know what I mean? And then if you are so connected to this person who's in the streets, sis, you're going to be in the streets too. You're going to be right in there too.
What was the question again?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so I think the question that we asked was the difficulties in 30s.
Oh.
Dating, right.
So that goes back to me saying in your 30s, where so part of my life was without social media, part of my life was with social media. I got on social media when I was 15, 16, so that's a little bit more than half of my life, right? So the half of my life that was without social media, I got to live. Like I was a kid,
Yeah.
And my parents were together and they loved each other. They loved on each other. They were, now it's like in your 30s, you still have that image of back in the day seeing Family Matters, seeing the Cosbys and seeing the mother and the father. And you're thinking, that's what I want. But social media wasn't around back then. So now you're going into our 30s and, we're getting older and we still have that image. But what's really happening is not that.
Right. My experience has nothing to do with social media.
Yeah.
My experience has everything to do with the person that you are. Your values, your morals, how you were raised, and how you treat and value the person.
Did that change because you said you are older? So did that mindset change after you realize maybe I can't get that type of man that I've been looking for my whole life, so now I have to be more realistic?
No, the man that I'm looking for my whole entire life was not the man that makes millions of dollars. It's the man that's going to treat me how my father treats my mother. Okay? My parents are still together. So it's one of those things where it's like I see a best friend in my mom and my father. Do you understand what I'm saying? People that can't live without each other, that talk to each other all day long. That's what I want. I want to mirror that image. I think that's probably my whole distorted image of love and dating in my late 30s.
So let me get to the fellas real quick. Real one. Like, what's some difficulties that you find right now with dating?
I think it's realizing that my standards kind of have to change, or my requirements got to change. So
which is what I was saying.
Right, when I was 20, 21, I would always say, I'm never dating a woman who has a child already. Right? Now that I'm in my 30s, or I'm going to date somebody who's in their 30s, more than likely, she probably has a child already. So it's like, do I love this? Do I like this woman enough to all right, this quote unquote baggage. Not to say that every child is a baggage, whatever the case is, but this quote unquote extra thing that I gotta deal with. Do I wanna like, you know, invest my time in it? At 21, I'm not doing that. But at 30,
you should.
As you get older, you realize things
like there's
start
certain
to
things
right.
like, you
Your
know
mindset,
what? I'm gonna take it. It's okay. It's cool. So it's just realizing certain things, certain requirements are not as
meaningful as they were before.
Yeah.
So does that mean you're settling?
You're not settling. It's if how do I put this? Like if I'm making $50,000 a year, right, and I wanna live in a 1-bedroom apartment, I can do that because it's just me, right? But when I'm taking on somebody else, I know that I gotta make more money, right? So it's not that like I'm set. It's knowing that I gotta adapt to whatever's coming into me, right? So when I hit 30, there's certain other things that are coming onto me that I have to now adapt to in order to get forward in life. So if I'm gonna take on a person and she's coming with baggage, I'm not settling for whatever she has. It's like
you're adapting.
I'm adapting to it because settling sounds like I never wanted.
It actually sounds pretty bad. You know, because it's not a bad thing that she has a child.
Having a child is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But I feel like people look at it as, oh, she might as well be with me because who she gonna get? Like it's kind of like I feel that's how
think like that.
Yeah, that's how I feel like it's more like, oh, you trying to be picky? You trying to be picky? You got a kid? Like
I think for men, it's not mostly for me. At least me. Let me speak for myself. I don't think it's mostly like the child. It's the fact that if the baby father is still like around, there's another man in that picture.
Yeah,
and that's gonna like now it's not like I'm competing with him, but it's like he's in your life too. Now we gotta sit here and tussle for like for territory. To me, it's draining.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if I had the choice, you know, like I would choose that.
I think that I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
I think that's really comes to the point of making sure that you and your woman are solid with each other.
Right.
Because you guys are gonna have that communication between each other.
But
she's gonna know that. What?
Like, how does it get there for him to even
communication.
know? No, but if he's just meeting someone,
well, you're gonna just meet somebody. You meet somebody off day one. Nobody's gonna know who everybody is. But if you're gonna start taking them seriously, where she's gonna even bring you around her child, you guys are gonna have, I would hope, those conversations where it's like, okay, baby daddy's here, blah 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 blah. It's gonna be a solid communication. Like she's gonna know the boundaries that you have and the boundaries her baby father has.
Yeah.
That hey. I'm not dealing with him no more, and this, that, and the third. I mean, you would hope it's going to be kind of an open communication about that. So you're not coming in blindly to any situations, just like if you had a baby mother. We see what's going on with Bags and Ari right now. I'm not Bags, excuse me. Herbert and Ari. Yes. I mean, that is such a heartbreaking situation. So it's kind of like to bring somebody around your child is so sacred.
Yeah, I don't
that
think nobody
you coming into a woman's life that has a child and vice versa. You guys have to have those kind of communications down packed because it's important.
I think what you said too about, you know, usually when you're in your 30s, I find people in their 30s are very stuck in their ways at that point. They are very unwilling to change their behavior. This is learned behavior at this point. They're not just going to change that shit overnight.
Can I say something? Because I was having a conversation with her about this today. I'm in my later 30s, okay?
Oh, you didn't mention that before. Go ahead.
I didn't? I'm proud about my age. I have no qualms about that.
You don't look good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I ain't going to front you one of the few women that come on here and open about their age.
Yes, I'm 39. I just turned 39
like
2 weeks ago.
Shout out to you.
Thank you. I was just telling her too, like, you know, just being, you know, single.
Single-ish.
Single.
No. Recently. Single. I'm single.
Okay.
I had to reevaluate myself. I had to reevaluate my attitude. I had to reevaluate my feminine energy that I bring to the table. I had to reevaluate not just what I bring to the table financially, but what I bring to the table emotionally. Am I motivating somebody? Am I able to have daily communication? If you guys are being in your 30s and you've never lived with a woman, that's a whole nother ball game as well.
Right.
So when you've experienced those type of things at a higher level and you've failed at it, you've had to come back to yourself and say, well, I know the part that I played. And if I'm dating now, these are the things that I need to. This is the part that I play. I know I need to change a few different things about myself because I know that they might not be universal.
Yeah,
I might meet somebody that
I think that
these are not going to go well with.
It's interesting that you said that because sometimes women do realize exactly what you realize, but it takes them too long to realize that, and then now they are too old now. Now the market is not really favoring them as much as it would have in their early 20s and even early 30s. So and this is when men say things like, "Yo, we want more y'all to be more feminine," and then some women push back so much, and I can only be feminine to a man that can do this X, Y, and Z, and I can only submit.
Behind that though, you get what
that's
I'm
fair, but
because, like, this
ain't
is
no nigga trying to hear.
I get it.
Y'all ain't trying to hear. Yo, I can only provide and protect if you do X, Y, and Z. I'm not trying to hear that.
But you have to think about a working black single woman. You get what I'm saying? Because it's already boundaries that she has to constantly fight against every single day. Like. Prime example on her job. You get what I'm saying? Like those are those are people that she constantly has to keep proving herself. You get what I'm saying? It's not easy in the corporate world, so you have to think about what she's going through mentally and emotionally.
I get you,
that part,
but nobody. Realistically, nobody owes you that understanding. Like, especially in the dating market, you can't go in and be like, "Well, you should understand that I'm in my masculine most of the time because I'm in the corporate." Some guys don't have the patience for that. You know what I mean? They're gonna go elsewhere and find women that would just be in their feminine.
Don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, like
so I don't have to deal with that.
For me,
but it's not a bad thing because you get what I'm saying. Because what someone is going through as a single black woman, you get what I'm saying. But it's just more of like I feel like the difficulties in your 30s is because I feel like a lot of times a lot of men, I should say, not a lot, but some, they don't get the time to understand what a single black woman is really going through in her 30s.
But we should also understand what they're going through as well. It can't be like a one-sided thing, you know what I mean?
That's true.
But
I see why you married now. I ain't gonna lie. It's becoming it's becoming more apparent.
Like, I understand what someone is really going through. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like a bad thing. Like, like, I'm single, I got a good job, and see what I'm saying? Like, I'm dealing with this on my job and everything like that. I have my own car, I have my own house. I pay all my bills by myself or whatever like that. But you have to think about like the
I can't pay my bills by myself
like
no
that.
more.
Like to get from men.
Listen, I'm gonna speak on
consistency that you get from men.
I'll speak on as a black man, a single black man in my 30s. I'm tired of that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been fighting women on that my whole 20s. I'm tired of fighting women that want to prove they're masculine and X, Y, and Z.
That's exactly why I said I have to reevaluate my feminine energy. I have to fall back. I can't be your equal because I want you to be the leader in my household.
100%.
I want you to guide me to a place where I can't just guide myself. And if we have children, I want you to be a collaborative partner with me with a leader mindset. A leader mindset. I had a debate with some coworkers the other day. We were talking about like mythical characters. Like, who would you pick for a partner? And I said Optimus Prime.
That's a trans.
I said Optimus Prime, and they said, "Why would you pick Optimus Prime?" And I said, "Because he's a leader,
and he know how to come back down. And when he pop out, when he transform when you need him,
compassionate.
He know how to scale it back. He's like, oh, y'all don't need me no more.
All right, let me go. Let me go.
Disguise too.
That to me was like the perfect mate for me. I want an Optimus Prime. I'm sorry, it sounds crazy.
That's mad random.
So random. I know I'm crazy.
I mean, it's a good analogy, but it's just random. I thought you were gonna say some shit like Jesus or some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Not Jesus and some shit.
Right. But I mean, I just feel like the qualities that he fictionally possessed are something that I probably would look for in a mate because
Where do you think you will find an Optimus Prime?
I just have to be open to.
Yeah, with the military.
No, it's not. You think Optimus
Sergeant?
Prime? Come on, he's not that guy. He's loving.
Not that guy.
He's loving. He's.
But where is he? Like,
honey, I don't know. I just live in New Jersey.
He out there. He out there, but you probably got to compete for that man, which you don't want to do. So
now when you think I'm hitting all obstacles. I am
when you say
going
compete, though,
through
what do you mean
everything.
by compete? Like, I'm not like, are we running a race? Like, what is it? Like,
I'm confused.
what exactly? do you mean by
Dating is a
competing?
competition. Like
It's a
that's all it is. You're
But how
competing
do
to be
you?
somebody's
And
wife.
how do you?
Like,
But if you don't know that there's somebody else there, like, let's say you're just talking and you guys are just vibing. Y'all not really
you have
saying.
to always assume that somebody else.
Okay,
is
so
there.
let's say
That's a
someone is
fact.
there, right? Right. What do you do as from your perspective or from a male perspective? What does a woman do to separate from to separate yourself?
You have to look at yourself and see same things that she did. Oh, I seen I had to tone down my attitude, or what you said earlier.
Just my feminine energy.
Yeah, feminine energy, all that.
Bring that out.
That's her competing.
But that's not her competing. That's about her being
That's
herself.
her being herself. That's not
she's
competing.
She's not necessarily.
That is her checking herself as a woman.
Why is she checking herself?
Yeah.
Why is she checking herself?
Those are flaws that she realized.
Listen.
Hold on. One mic.
The reason she's checking herself is because she realized that this is not attractive in a woman. So she can be attractive and compete with other women. That's competing.
I had to learn that, certain battles are not worth fighting. I had to learn that certain levels of energy, and this is a prime example, right? And I was just recently in a situation, not a situation, but let's say a date, okay, where he's talking, and I'm finding myself fighting myself trying to talk over him.
Oh, I hate that.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, chill. Like, chill out. Why you can't talk over the man. Like, let him do his thing and just get it out. Like, you don't have to be combative.
Right.
I don't have to be combative. I can choose my battles
right.
wisely. I don't have to be combative with him. And if he's freaking wrong, let him be wrong. I'm going to just let him be that because I know it's wrong. But it's certain things that, I know about myself. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't know yourself and know where I've gone wrong in certain situations that I can't correct going forward. And that's just me self-correcting myself.
Right. So in that situation, why do you feel like he was wrong and not you? Like, why do you feel like he was speaking?
Because he was factually wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't like, well, let me let him be ignorant about it. It was just like, I don't have to be like, well, you're wrong because I know that back in 1619 that it was just like, it's gonna be a moment in time once I get to know
him laughing because he reminiscing right now.
A moment in time where I get to know this man that he's gonna know that I'm a fact checker, so I don't have to just shoot him down because at that point he could lose momentum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And how he is with me and how he treats me.
Yeah, I think what we have to kind of keep in the back of our head, just because we get into the relationship, it doesn't mean we stop keeping our place in that relationship.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're a boss and you have an employee, and the employee's doing like everything they're supposed to do, you're not really thinking about interviewing somebody else to replace that person until they start messing up. It's like, all right, maybe I got to put up some applications because this employee is not doing what they're supposed to do. Let me find somebody that's gonna I have to interview. I won't have to interview if you're doing everything you're supposed to do. And it's not like we're doing it intentionally, right? But subconsciously, it's like, okay, me and you are fighting every day. So let me just go on Instagram and, she's liking my pictures. She's telling me have a good day. She's telling me this. So I've already subconsciously started interviewing somebody else.
We stab ourselves in the foot that way all the time as women. And I can only speak for myself because, I could say we could have like a certain level of jealousy, right? Just people in general, right? You can be cool and a man loves your confidence and how you are and stuff like that. And you're just like confident, And when we start displaying we start feeling them a little bit more like, dang, I really like him. And But then we start displaying a little bit of jealousy. And he's been like, damn, I've been loving your confidence and who you displayed and who you are as a woman all this whole time. And now you where did jealous come from? And then it's like, well, shit, she was jealous. I'm about to start looking for somebody else.
But this is, like I said, this is why I said that the dating, because men have to also compete to keep their woman. Like, you know what I mean? That's why, people entertain other people because it's like, okay, if you're not willing to do this, somebody else will. And that could go back to the social media because people have so much options available to them at their fingertips. Right.
Yep,
so
literally.
I've seen women and men say, well, you stop doing this or you don't do this or you stop whatever you do, I can find somebody to replace you. And then that mentality is in your head. Like, so it's like, all right, well, I could treat you like shit because if you don't do what I say or do what I want, I could find somebody, find somebody else. And that can be a flaw I find with me personally, when it comes to dating, dating apps is the worst. I promise. I go on dating apps.
Never again.
You got women selling pussy every left way.
They're selling coochie?
Outrageous. You know what I'm saying, bro?
In what way? Like monetary or just in...
No, monetary. Even the women that you think is not selling pussy.
Let me tell my story,
y'all talk
man.
about we gotta compete,
right? So how am I compete?
We don't want a girlfriend selling pussy. You think it's gonna be a love story? Oh, I'm mad she was selling pussy. Now this is my wife. Like, no.
I hit her up in the cash app.
But I was talking to a shorty on the dating app, and she was more aggressive than normal women would be. And I thought it was kind of weird at first. She was talking about she wanted to hang out and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, cool, we can hang out. So then she like, oh, you got $150? I was like, $150 for what? She was like, you said you wanted to chill. You want to do something, right? I'm like, I'm not paying you for it. Like, what you like? I thought we were just going to chill. Like, yo.
I've been let on like that several times. It just sounds like...
What do you say after that? Nah. Like, when somebody approaches you like that, what do you say?
I said, I thought we was going to chill. If you talking about money, like...
They could be homosexuals talking about a transaction.
Yeah, I still got the text message. I'll show you how to do this.
My thing is hobosexuals. Those are the ones that come to me. The hobosexuals, the ones that don't live nowhere. They don't live nowhere.
Well, you have a house, you know.
Multiple rooms, girl.
That's why I don't believe in that.
They smell that on you. Like,
they be like, you got like food in your fridge.
And you just said that somebody said you be bragging about it, right?
I got one.
Like, oh, you say you have a house? Oh.
I live under a bridge.
What'd you say your credit score was?
How many rooms?
And maybe I set myself up for that, but like I don't even know I should be saying this story.
I know.
I ain't saying this.
If you shouldn't, if you think you shouldn't, you should.
Anyway, man, we got a few minutes left. This topic we could go on about. There's a lot of topics we could go on about, but Keem,